This year's World Cup in Qatar will be different in several ways from previous tournaments. To begin, we already know that time and place are distinct. We're used to the World Cup taking place in the summer at the end of the European season, but this time the tournament will take place in the middle of the season during the fall. Furthermore, as you are probably aware, this will be the first time an Arab country will host the FIFA World Cup. But there's more. When the tournament begins on the 18th of November, time and location will be the least of your concerns, because there are 5 new rules being implemented in the World Cup 2022 in Qatar this year. Please subscribe to our channel and join us as we explain the 5 new rules introduced for the 22 World Cup that will change the game. Number 1. 5 players substitutions. This may not seem strange to you because you're used to seeing it in UEFA competitions and even in some local leagues, but this year's World Cup will be the first to allow teams to make 5 substitutions during a single game. These 5 substitutions must be made in 3 windows, and each team receives an extra sub if the game goes into overtime. Don't take this change lightly. When faced with a difficult situation, teams with deep squads understand how valuable this can be to change the dynamic of the game. And, of course, players are ecstatic about this change because it means that more players who would not have previously come off the bench during the tournament will now have the opportunity to shine with more subs available. Number 2. Offside technology that is semi-automated. Video assistant referees were introduced to the World Cup in 2018, and only 4 years later the technology has been upgraded. This year's edition will feature advanced technology being used to make offside call. According to reports, this new system will reduce the time it takes VAR to take an offside call from an average of 70 seconds to around 20 seconds. This new technology, according to Arsene Wenger, who is now FIFA's chief of global football development, will function similarly to goal line technology. The linesman will wear a watch that will alert him almost immediately if a player is caught offside. A 3D animation depicting the offside will be shown on the stadium's big screen as well as on TV screens for viewers at home. How does it work, you ask? Under the roofs of Qatari stadiums, there are approximately 12 cameras installed to track 29 different parts of each player's body. Furthermore, the match balls are outfitted with sensors that will collect data 500 times per second. All that data will be calculated and presented to the guys in the VAR room, who will then send the correct decision to the linesman on the field through the watch they are wearing. All of this will happen in a matter of seconds. We're looking forward to see how this plays out in Qatar because, to be honest, fans all over the world are sick of how long VAR takes to detect offside calls. Number 3. Increased roster size. More players will compete and get a chance to show their talent in the World Cup in 2022 than in any previous edition of the competition. To begin with, the number of eligible players required for each national team has been increased to 55. It was capped at 35 for the 2018 World Cup. The teams were then required to submit a final 26-man list of players who will be attending the World Cup. This is an improvement from the previous tournaments requiring of 23-man squads. With the expansion of squads and an increase in the number of substitutions permitted, it stands to reason that the number of bench players will also increase. This has increased from 12 to 15. Why were these changes made? FIFA stated that the changes were necessary given the need to retain additional flexibility due to the unique timing of the FIFA World Cup 2022 in the global calendar, as well as the broader context of the disruptive effects caused by the COVID-19 pandemic on squads before and during tournament. The tone of the statement suggests that for the 2026 World Cup edition, things will return to normal. Number 4. The foot on the line rule for goalkeepers. This one, like the 5 subs rule, is another change that may not feel like a new change at the World Cup because it has already been implemented elsewhere. However, the FIFA World Cup 2022 will be the first time for this competition that goalkeepers are required to have at least part of their foot on the line when a penalty is taken. We've all seen how many penalty retakes and even cautions have resulted from this rule in League and Champions League games. Having that drama in the World Cup will only add to the excitement of the world's most watched competition. We can hardly wait. Number 5. Female officials. For this version of World Cup, we will see female referees for the first time ever. Stephanie Frappart of France, Salima Mukansanga of Rwanda, and Yoshimi Yamashita of Japan have already been confirmed as the first women to officiate at a FIFA World Cup tournament for men. There will also be 3 female assistant refs at the World Cup in Qatar. We know you're used to seeing female assistant refs in the Premier League and the Champions League, but this will be the first time female assistant refs participate in a men's World Cup tournament. These new rules, changes, and upgrades that we expect to see at the World Cup in Qatar only serve to increase our excitement for the first whistle blow on the 18th of November. We are very excited about a new looking World Cup tournament. Are you? If you are, give this video a thumbs up and jump into the comments section to let us know what new rule you are most excited to see implemented at the World Cup 2022. Subscribe and turn on notifications so so you don't miss more videos of football stories and much more. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.